What up, special people? Welcome back to my channel, and thank you all for being here. So today we have a special video that I think that you guys will enjoy, because we all want to know what it takes to, be successful, to be a millionaire, or to be successful in our own way, in our own right, and whatever we think successful is to us. People have different measurements for success for themselves. That can be, having a certain amount of money. That can be prestigiousness at a certain job that you have. That could be starting your own business. There's just different levels of success that people can accomplish based upon what they feel, right? So, as you can tell from the title of this video, we're going over a CNBC article, which states basically the person who wrote the article, I think Tom Corley, the title of the article is, he spent 5 years interviewing 233 millionaires. Here's the #1 career move that made them rich. So I just thought this would be an interesting discussion with you all, basically, just so we can see exactly out of the interviews that he did, what are the commonalities between these millionaires, and let's see if we can extract some of that for ourselves, and let's see how we can move better and accomplish what we need to accomplish, right? Because on this channel, we're looking at personal growth in all aspects. So that would be, physically, mentally, spiritually, everything, right? We're just looking to grow financially as well, and just, just be the most optimized person that we can be, and use it to better our society and the people around us and the people that we care about, right? So let's go. So I'm gonna just start by reading the article, and I'm gonna put it up here as well, and we're just gonna go through it. So all credits out to CNBC, Tom Corley, right? So thank you for your amazing article. So it starts by saying, I spent 5 years studying and interviewing 230 millionaires to learn about their habits and the way that they think. Work was a big topic. 51% were entrepreneurs. That's not a surprise. And 28 had traditional 9-to-5 jobs. And 28% had traditional 9-to-5 jobs. And 18% were senior level executives at large companies. Both of those are also not a surprise. So yeah, a majority of them, as you can tell, were entrepreneurs. And then 28% of them had, they had the 9-to-5, so your average 9-to-5er, like me as well. So that means that if you have a 9-to-5, it doesn't stop you or limit you from becoming a millionaire, because the next largest percentage of people that he interviewed that were millionaires had a 9-to-5 job. They just leveraged it in a way to become a millionaire, right? So, and the 18% were senior level executives at large companies. So that's, like the big wigs. Those are people who have stock options and et cetera, those senior level management as well. So I'm gonna continue reading. But they all had one thing in common. They quit their mid to late career jobs, saying they felt it was the only way they could truly succeed and build wealth. Some left to start their own business, while others found lateral roles that offered more growth, opportunities, and higher salaries. So some left to become entrepreneurs. Some stayed as a 9-to-5er and basically just went laterally to higher position jobs that paid them more. They probably gave them some type of stock options. They gave them a better 401k match, and they just decided to stay there and earn a good amount of money that way. So as you can see, the most common thing that the common thing that they all had was that they all decided to move. So it was movement, basically aiming for something higher, right? Not staying where they're comfortable, but actually doing a movement somewhere, i.e. either becoming an entrepreneur or going to another job that they felt like they could get more growth and better things from that job. So if you feel stuck, maybe you have to look at what type of movement do you want to do? Do you want to start your own business, or do you want to go to another company that has just better things in place for you to be successful, right? Here are the most common red flags that they made them decide to quit. So if you feel like any of this is speaking to you, maybe it might be time for you to look to go to a different position. But again, we are in like a recession. So you have to be smart about what you're doing. If you want to quit your job, it may not be the right time right now, because, our economy is a little bit shaky. So you might want to wait on that. You don't want to quit and then go to another place and that's going to fire you or let you go, actually, like do a layoff because they're over utilized. They have too much debt, basically. So, again, this is up to you, however you feel. So I'm just reading the article, and if you think that this is you and you want to quit your job, go to another position, or you want to become an entrepreneur, just know that you have to take proper planning and things like that. You can't just do it off of this video that I'm telling you here, right? So let me continue reading. They were being underutilized. The millionaires in study often felt like they were always doing zombie work, boring, repetitive tasks that didn't showcase their strength and talents. One person worked for a container shipping company. He felt underutilized and ultimately quit his job to join forces with another industry peer. Together, they launched a new U.S. branch of International Container Shipping Company. Today, they are executives at the multi-billion-dollar company. So this person felt like they were underutilized at their job, and they were just doing the same repetitive things over and over again. That wasn't making them feel like they were actually doing anything important or growing as an aspect of working there. So they decided to go to a competitor and basically use his skills to grow that and turn that pretty much into a business of his. And then now they turn it into a multi-billion-dollar company. So if you have a certain level of skill, you can always look to branch out, maybe starting your own agency, starting your own consulting company, starting whatever skill you've obtained from that job. You're documented, you have certifications, all type of things. You can branch out and look to starting your own, or working with a startup or something to then, to grow. Yeah. So the next thing is they had toxic bosses. Managers who are demanding, selfish, arrogant, or have little interest in your opinions will help you reach your earning potential. One millionaire said he was so fed up with his manager, who would only criticize his work instead of giving him constructive feedback. He got tired of it and left to start his own home construction company, taking with him a number of key employees who felt the same way. So again, as you can see, there is something that is, similar. There's similarities between the last two that we just read in terms of, what happened when they did leave. Maybe it was a difference in terms of why they left. This one is dealing with a toxic manager or boss. So this person decided to leave because he felt like his manager or boss wasn't, helping him again to grow, and they weren't really looking at his strength. So he decided to leave and start his own construction company with some of his team members that he had on there. That's genius. You have an understanding of what to do. Once you're at a company for so long, you understand, the company's values, you understand what's going on and how to use it to start your own, to replicate what they have and put it in a better way. So if you're working at a company and you're observing, you should be observing what's going on. You should be learning, trying to grow your skills so where you're comfortable enough to branch out on your own and then become an entrepreneur, start your own business and expand and, start making a lot of money and, and doing what you like to do and being your own boss if that's what you like to do. So let's continue reading. So the next one says they dreaded their office culture. An undermining culture of malicious gossip can make anyone feel a sense of anxiety going into work every day. This was the case for one of the individuals in my study who was a manager at an accounting firm. He ultimately left due to the toxic environment. After months of job interviewing, he landed an offer in a competitive firm when he rose up the ladder and became a partner. So you see the commonalities between all the stuff that we're reading is that don't be afraid to move. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. If you feel like something is holding you back, if you feel like you're not appreciated, if you feel like that you can do much better, don't be afraid to move, because God rewards the people who are brave and have no fear. When you're brave and you understand how much you have to offer and you're actually good at what you do, when you decide to move somewhere else, you will be rewarded and you'll be like, dang, like this is like amazing, you know? So don't be afraid to move on from things, guys. Especially if you feel like it's not conducive to your growth, if the environment is toxic, if you don't like the manager, if you're peeping certain things that you don't like going on, it may be time for you to get out of there, you know, to be brave. Yeah, the money is good, but you don't want to be handcuffed to a position that you don't want to be at, right? Okay, so let me continue reading. They weren't paid enough or getting raises. A sure sign that it was time to start looking for another opportunity, the participants told me, was when their salaries could barely keep up with the bills. They couldn't afford their vacation and wanted to save up enough money to buy a house. One person who worked at a large car dealership decided to strike out on his own. Thanks to investments from his family and friends, he launched his own dealership and franchised it, which allowed him to build significant wealth. Again, still the same comparisons, still the same things are going from different types of why they left. And you can see that it's pretty much the exact same thing. Like there is different reasons to why they left, but they're leaving. They're taking the skills that they acquired from the job and starting their own job or going somewhere else and climbing up the ranks. Like you can see that it's pretty much the exact same thing. So again, we already talked about that. So they had a draining commute. So that one self-made millionaire in my study had a lengthy commute from her home in New Jersey to New York. It was wearing on her, so she decided to look for something closer to home. See, it could be something as simple as that. She took another job in a New Jersey-based company in the pharmaceutical industry, and it paid off. She climbed to a senior position and retired early thanks to a very generous stock compensation package. Before you hit your breaking point, consider having a conversation with the hybrid remote option or moving into a position with there being little travel required. And the last but not least, the industry was unsteady. One IT professional left his struggling manufacturing company to join a new business offering discount online brokerage services. At the time, it was a relatively new industry, but the risk was worth it. As the company prospered, so did he. This is a good reminder that your skills may be more transferable than you think. Don't be afraid to get on the ground floor of something that excites you. Okay, perfect. So as you guys can see, there is commonalities between all of these different types of reasons that these millionaires decide to leave their job or become entrepreneurs. One thing they just, when they realize when it's time to leave, it's time to leave and take the next leap, right? So I want you all to think about that, to marinate on that, to just really understand the difference of why these people did what they did. And understand if it's similar to your case that you're going through, maybe you should go get a second job. Maybe you should quit your current job that you're at right now. You need to take that leap. You can't be stuck doing something because it's comfortable for you, because you're comfortable, Again, I'm telling you this, I know for a fact that God rewards the brave. So when you are a brave person, when you don't have any fear over where you're going to get certain things, you will be rewarded, especially if you have the knowledge, the skills, and the understanding to do what you're doing. So if you're at a position, just stay where you're at. If you're not uncomfortable, and just observe and just understand what's going on and how they operate. And then, after a certain while, if you're ready to move on, maybe 2-3 years, if you're ready to move on, and look for a better position, you can. If you feel like you can transfer your skills into starting your own company after a couple of years, you can. And just continue to do that. But there is no rush. Don't rush being an entrepreneur. Don't rush going to a different job. Don't rush those things. It all takes time for you to really understand, your skills and stuff like that. Basically, that's all I wanted to talk about here today, guys, with you all. I really appreciate all of you guys for watching my videos and everything.